say, by the way, give me your birth date. And so they'd give it to me, and I'd look it up, and they'd have these star markings. And I kept thinking, gee, why am I just running into people with these particular star markings? These 20.
And you didn't know at the time that they were star markings.
No, just these 25, 26, 27 degree planets. And I thought, well, this is beyond coincidence. This went on for like 3 years. I thought I was losing my mind over it for a while, because no matter where I went, this one particular time in this restaurant, I thought, okay, I'm going to really put it to the test here. And I stood up, made an announcement, and had everybody, write their birth information. And, they were like, almost all of them, they had the star markings, and I was just blown away.
Out of how many people?
75, I believe. 75 people. So it's like, whoa,
So you got back to your room and took a look at the pieces of paper and started looking them up in your ephemeris.
Yeah.
And you don't know why you had the impulse to ask that particular group. This is just another example of...
With a bottle of brandy.
That came after.
Yeah, that came afterwards. I said,
you realized what had really just happened.
Now, what was really strange after we got back on the airplane to come home from Cairo, after Pleiadean Lineup, it stopped. It stopped just like it started. I started asking people on the airplane, and, on the trip home, not one person had the star markings. It was over. It was over. I can't explain that except to say, when it ended, it ended.
Because you had gathered the pattern and seen the preponderance of 25, 26, 27 degree planets, and once you got it, there was no need to continue the lesson demonstration.
I guess so.
And by the way, this is this article on the discovery of star markings can be found on the website starseedhotline.com. Look in the Vault of Knowledge and click on the discovery of star markings, and you will read about this story, and also there's a story of the Cairo trip with pictures. And you might want to note, just to our listeners, when there's a picture on there, it's called Lavandar's Bubble, that was taken right before she got on the airplane to go to Cairo. And the picture's worth 1,000 words. That's all I'm going to say, folks. So go look at it. So, and then there was a correlation, was there not, between this discovery of 25, 26, 27, which we will just call galactic degrees of any astrological sign, including May and November. There was a correlation between that and the Giza crystals, wasn't there?
Yes. Yes, in fact, what happened after that is that I took these crystals and put them in the sun every month when the sun was 25, 26, and 27 degrees, and kept them charged. In fact, my entire crystal collection, which was, hundreds of crystals, would go outside during these 3 days. And this was quite a task. This was part of the experiment, was to charge these crystals and to set up the crystal grids in different places around the world. And when these crystals got back from Egypt, there was a little crystal network of people that knew about these crystals, and actually would take them and would carry them and bury them in different places. And like I said on my website, starseedhotline.com, the story of a group that took them to Australia, to Ayers Rock. More people asked for crystals to be taken there than any other place. Over 100 people have spent the time, money, energy. Can you imagine being wakened in the middle of the night and told by this voice from a crystal that tells you that you need to go to Ayers Rock, buy an airplane ticket, and go place this crystal at Ayers Rock? This happened to 100 people. and I still am waiting to see what's going to happen with Ayers Rock. Now, just some time ago, they found this marking on top of Ayers Rock. It matches a hieroglyphic that they found in one of the recent pyramids, and they have deciphered that hieroglyph to mean time travel. So I'm very hopeful that there will be other things that will be revealed through these Giza crystals, Ayers Rock, and time travel. That's very exciting to me.
That's a big piece of the puzzle, which we don't know what it's going to look like yet. And there are places all around the world, in addition to Ayers Rock, isn't there, that people took these crystals? It reminds me of the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because people were compelled to do something, and they didn't know why, but they just couldn't stop themselves. They had to go do it.
A couple of other stories that I like to that I'd like to share with you, and I don't know if I have ever told you this before or not, but I had this little bag, little silk purse that I kept these crystals in as I traveled. You know, I would just hand them to people on the airplanes or wherever I'd go. I'd plant them, and after a while, I kept thinking, well, why doesn't this little bag ever get empty? And no matter how many crystals I'd give away, it was always full. And after a while, I just realized that they were somehow having babies or something. They were they were multiplying. I don't know how it happened, but and this went on for many years until one day it just stopped. And then when I started giving them out, I gave them out, and they were all gone. So that was kind of an interesting thing that would happen. And here's the other thing: I was having kidney stones, and I went with my friend down to San Diego. She was going to go see her gynecologist, and so I said, "Well, do you think she would take a sample of my urine and tell me what kind of crystals what's going on with me?" And so she did, and she called me in and my friend, and she said, "We've never seen anything quite like this." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She said, "In your urine, you're producing quartz crystals. You're not producing calcium crystals like other people." And I said, "Oh." And then I started wondering, maybe that's where the supply was coming from. I didn't know. I mean, after so many weird things had happened, who was I to question anything?
Well, they could have been materialized, teleported. There's no telling how that happened, but the point is that it happened, and it was a demonstration that you were being monitored, and your actions and the people you were giving them to, nothing was random or accidental.
And when you think about it, really think about it, they're 3,500 years ahead of us in technology and awareness and consciousness. So the things that we see in Harry Potter movies, are probably kindergarten to them and just old school.
As far as what we would call magic.
Yeah.
Just as much as if, you go back 3,500 years to, 1,500 years before Christ.
Right.
And pop out an iPod or a cell phone or a GPS.
That's
and,
right.
It's just a matter of relative magic. It's not magic to us, but it would be to them. And
right.
Therefore, we're like the cavemen to them.
That's true.
In technology.
Right.
But I think